So I've been a periodontist now since 2007, practicing in private practice as well as teaching at the school, Stony Brook Dental School in the Department of Periodontics. And I have been drawn to this field for a number of reasons, but one of the reasons was my father was a periodontist, and I grew up around the dental field with all his friends. So I've been immersed in this field since 1974. So I've been practicing, this field for a while, but then I've transitioned now to functional dentistry, where I practice whole systems medicine, along with some functional integrative medical clinics that I've opened up right next door, along with my wife. And so we've been really concentrating now on not only periodontics, but functional dentistry and functional integrative medicine as a whole systems approach. In traditional periodontics, nobody loves surgery, right? So nobody loves to get operated on. Nobody loves gum surgery. Nobody loves conventional flap surgery and debridements with stitches because there can be post-operative sequela and pain. So that's certainly something that we've had to deal with over the years. And convincing people to fix something that doesn't hurt traditionally, right? Periodontal disease typically doesn't hurt until it's too late. That's why the American Academy of Periodontology has a brochure that says don't wait until it hurts, which is very apropos. But fixing a disease process that people don't necessarily have pain over, and afterwards they may be in pain. They view it as, nothing was wrong and you hurt me. So, and you made it worse. So we've had to overcome that in the traditional periodontal game, as well as healing. Sometimes healing can be slower because these patients have inflammatory processes and other diseases that make their immune system's a little bit deficient, and then their healing is affected by that. So in traditional periodontics, we've had to overcome those barriers. The first time I heard StellaLife was about 10 years ago, and I ran into this gentleman named Gennady. And, and Gennady was one of the gentlemen who works at StellaLife and was one of the founders of it. And he ran into me at a meeting and he said, Dr. Froum, we really want to work with you. He's read some of the articles that I wrote, and he came across as someone who was really genuine about the passion he has for helping people. And specifically, his backstory is that, he had experiences with people that were, cancer survivors and people who had substance abuse disorder because of all of the narcotics that they had to take. And he genuinely wanted to create a product line that was helpful for mucositis lesions that cancer patients typically have, as well as patients who have, dependent uses because of all of the pathology and disease processes that they've been put through and they've been put on these narcotic medications. And that struck me as something that was really in line with my thinking. And so I started using the product, and from there, I found out how good it was, so I continued to use it. The StellaLife product line is a homeopathic line, and it has a bunch of medications, or I should say herbs and formulations that are really geared towards the practice of homeopathy. And homeopathy is the theory that, more is not necessarily better. In fact, exposure to a little does the body much better than a lot. And it has a different herbs and properties that help achieve some of the same things that chemicals can, but in a method that's more natural. So I always like to say, you've heard of the company Listerine, right? Procter and Gamble. Their product line everybody's familiar with and everybody's comfortable with. They use essential oils. Now they don't use essential oils anymore. It's more of a chemical duration or derivation of essential oils. But the thought process was that we're going to use essential oils or plant formulations, eucalyptol, menthol, things of that nature, and we're going to use it for healing and its properties of debridement or antibacterial properties. So everybody's comfortable with herbal medicine and things of that nature as long as a big brand is stamped on it. Well, this has the same idea. It uses antibacterial agents like neem and calendula and plantago and propolis, which are terrific for healing. Those are typically antivirals and antifungals and antibacterials, and things that accelerate wound healing are like plantago and arnica montana and chamomile, which show anti-inflammatory properties. And in terms of the ability to take people off of substances and good for opioids, there's a lot of anti-anxiolytics in there as well. So, you have aconitum and gelsenium and ignatia or ignatia, however you want to pronounce it. But those are all, anti-anxiolytics, which help with, stress levels and things of that nature. So it's a mix of anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral, as well as wound healing via anti-inflammation and anti-anxiolytic. So those combinations are really powerful in terms of treating patients without the traditional, antiseptics, which are alcohol and chlorhexidines and hydrogen peroxidases, things that could be a lot more caustic to the mouth. In my practice, I found, patients in our periodontal practice, I should say, I found patients that have mucositis lesions, dry mouth, really severe inflammation, or a combination of the two, that I don't want to put on a chemical agent to create a more xerostomach environment. That has been really helpful. After surgery, some of these bacteria, some of these antibacterial agents, such as like chlorhexidine, for example, they have a lot of properties that people don't like. The sequelae the side effects, I should say, are, brown tongue, brown teeth, tartar buildup, dysgeusia, which is altered taste sensations and metallic tastes, and anti-fibroblastic properties. In other words, it doesn't create healing, it actually inhibits it. So those patients that I don't want to put on those medications, we use StellaLife. And that seems to help with those concerns. And typically when I say those patients, it's pretty much all my patients. I've gotten away from the antiseptics tremendously. Now, in our functional dentistry clinic, it's pretty much all our patients because we're concerned with oral microbiome. Oral microbiome is something that's going to be coming up of age, and it's going to be more important as time progresses, and we see how important the microbiome is. So when you have typical agents that affect, all of the bacteria, they get rid of all the bacteria, even the good ones, you're really affecting the harmony of the microbiome, and therefore you want to try to do away with those. So what sets StellaLife apart from traditional medicaments in both periodontal patients and, I would say patients who come in for natural approaches, is that you're not using caustic agents to try and eliminate all the bacteria. A nice study out of New Jersey was a study that showed that StellaLife was able to target, pathogenic bacteria in the mouth, but leave commensal bacteria intact. So what that means is it basically targets the bad bacteria and leaves the good bacteria or eubacteria alone, so that you have a situation where your oral microbiome, like we talked about, isn't affected, which is huge, right? So the oral microbiome is really the next step of dentistry, where we're going to be concerned with keeping a homeostatic balance in the mouth without destroying it. That's why some people, are able to cope with certain diseases and others are not. It's because their microbiome keeps that in check. When you destroy a microbiome, you alter the homeostasis in the mouth, and you can create a situation where it's now more open to disease. In other words, we're all taught in dental school that a patient may be fine for a long time, and then all of a sudden they go on certain medications, and those certain medications can cause cavities, they can cause periodontal disease, they can cause dry mouth, they can cause things like that. Well, that's because you're disrupting their oral microbiome, right? We all get those concepts, but we don't get the concept that we're introducing a drug or a antiseptic that alters the microbiome and can cause the same problems. That's a little bit more foreign to us. So the thing that sets StellaLife apart is their ability to use these natural products that we talked about that are just as effective, but do not do the harmful things that other chemical agents do. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I was a big user of chlorhexidine and some of these other antiseptics like hydrogen peroxide and things of that, things like that. And, patients typically, they'll use it, but they don't love those. They don't love the taste. They don't like the results. They don't like the fact that they're coming in with brown teeth. Nobody likes that. So, um, patients typically accept the StellaLife products. Then they read about them, and then they're very happy because everybody likes using natural products. Who doesn't like that? If you have a natural product versus a chemical product, I'm sure that 99% of us would choose the natural product as long as the outcomes were the same. And I see it, in my patients that are compromised. My patients that have the dry mouth, the patients that have poor wound healing, the patients that have mucositis reactions, the patients whose oral microbiome is already disturbed because they've been on a host of antibacterial medications already. This really seems to do a nice recuperation of what they used to have. And the probiotic line that they've developed, the lozenges as well as the spore biotics, they're great. They're great for gut resets. We've started a gut oral clinic, so an oral microbiome, a gut microbiome clinic, and we've been having tremendous success with patients with poor dysbiotic guts that need help in their mouth. So, we really been using this on all those types of patients. Yeah, I mean, they all like it. They all ask where they can buy it. The only sometimes the only negative is that they've looked on Amazon and they can't find it because it's a little bit on back order. So that's always a good problem, right? That they like it too much. Uh, but no, I mean, I haven't found anyone that has been a negative about the products. They've all been pretty positive. The only consideration that I would say is that patients that have ragweed allergies that are allergic to chamomile, they may be people that you don't want to put on these because there is a chamomile ingredient in it. So people with ragweed allergies, those you have to be a little bit careful of. But for everyone else, they've really enjoyed these product lines, and I have them on these products indefinitely. So just as any person would grab a mouth rinse, certainly I would tell them to use Stella instead of any alcohol-based or even non-alcohol-based products like Listerine has. I would tell them to use Stella first. That would be a first consideration for me. Yeah, and I just did a study on patients, and this happens to be on the forefront of medicine and dentistry. If you listen to Andrew Huberman, who's a big into the podcasting world, right? Andrew Huberman is a professor who is I guess you would call him an anti-aging professor or anti-aging medicine. But he has a big following, same as Peter Attia and some of all of these other health gurus on YouTube, and they podcast. he just addressed a big study that came out that showed that patients who use mouth rinses consistently had higher blood pressure. Now you would think, what? That's crazy. But as it turns out, there's a molecule in the mouth called nitric oxide, and nitric oxide is a vasodilator of the body, and it just so happens that it's stored in your saliva ducts, or your saliva glands, I should say, in a concentrated form. And some of the commensal bacteria that we talked about, the good bacteria in your mouth, in the dorsum of the tongue, actually break down your food products from nitrite into nitrates, and then it's then reduced further in the stomach to nitric oxide. Well, if you use mouth rinses all the time, and you're destroying those good bacteria, you're destroying your mouth's ability to store nitric oxide or store nitrates that eventually become nitric oxide. So plasma nitric oxide concentrations decrease, as well as salivary nitric oxide concentrations decrease. So what does that mean? What that means is you're limiting your body's ability to fight hypertension through vasodilation by decreasing these molecules through constant use of mouth rinses. So they found that patients that consistently use mouth rinses have higher blood pressures. Well, that's a problem, right? Because we, as dentists, always prescribe mouth rinses. And in fact, probably for the majority of people, we shouldn't be. Whether you want to use warm salt water or some type of other astringent, maybe that's the way to go to. So I said, well, you know what? If there was a study down in Rutgers in New Jersey that showed that StellaLife can target the pathogenic bacteria but leave the commensal bacteria, well, maybe StellaLife could be useful to use as a mouth rinse and not raise blood pressures and not lower the nitric oxide concentration. So I did a study on 10 patients as a pilot, and I used these strips to measure these salivary concentrations of nitric oxide, and then I had them use Stella, as well as another brand of that uses peroxides, and then as well as another brand that uses chlorhexidine. And I compared all three, and sure enough, Stella was the only mouth rinse that didn't lower concentrations of nitric oxide or nitrates in the mouth. So that was a eureka moment for me, in that I can now prescribe these mouth rinses and not worry about some of the systemic effects that these mouth rinses and these other products may be having. So certainly for those populations with hypertension and cardiovascular diseases and other things, that may be a big consideration in the future. Yeah, I wouldn't limit it to the scope of periodontics. I would say, how would these products affect dentistry in general, as well as some of the larger systemic problems that we've been talking about? So, I view dentistry as going towards a regeneration and remineralization concept. Too long have we've delved in the past, in the 1880s, of drill and fill technologies, as well as massive flaps. I view dentistry going in towards, as we talked about, more awareness of the oral microbiome and the importance that plays. Certainly, if you look at any JAMA, or Journal of American Medical Association, they're talking about microbiomes all over the body. We should be talking more about that of the mouth, because that's important. We should be talking about more strategies that can induce regeneration and increase the body's healing capacity, as well as remineralization of our teeth. I mean, our teeth have magic ways of remineralizing or rebuilding themselves if we promote the concepts. And certainly, whether you're using growth factors or whether you're using other technologies that promote regeneration, I view StellaLife as one of those technologies that would help create an environment that helps the body rebuild itself, or remineralize itself, or regenerate itself. So I think that's the direction that dentistry in general is going to go towards. It's really repair rather than just a mechanistic drill and fill, or clean out this or clean out that. It's how do we help the body heal itself?